Hi guys, and welcome back to Bar Exam. It's your girl, Allie Rayner, and I'm here with the Bar Exam crew. We got Shane G in the building. What's up, Shane?
What's goody? What's goody?
What's good? And then we also have Mr. Eric G in the building. What's up, Eric?
What's the deal, y'all?
And then we have Mr. Marcus TV himself in the building. What's up, Marcus?
Yo, what's going on? What's going on?
So welcome, guys. Now I know my background's a little bit different. I'm still traveling. I'm getting it together, but I'm here and I'm very excited for this conversation because we thought the rap beef was gonna maybe take a little beat. Nah, it just decided to get cranked up to the next level instead. So this week, coming before the bar, we're discussing the ongoing rap beef between Drake and basically the whole goddamn rap game. They're talking about it's 20 versus 1, and they're saying that your boy is just getting ambushed. Apparently, he's getting, what is it when everybody just goes crazy on one dude? What is it again?
Getting jumped.
What did you say?
Getting jumped.
Getting jumped. Thank you. Everybody's saying that he's basically getting jumped right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would categorize it as that, but it does look like there's plenty of people who have a lot to say about Drake right now. And it's most surprising is some of the artists were actually friends of his. So we all heard about Metro Boomin stuff and the Future stuff, and Kendrick Lamar and him have always had static. So that one wasn't too much of a surprise for everyone. But I don't know about anybody else, but this week we saw Rick Ross decide to throw his card into the ring. And it was actually interesting. I didn't expect him to go where he went with it. I mean, he started calling Drake white boy. I don't know where that came from. Apparently, he doesn't see Drake as a black man anymore. And then he just had a lot to say. So let's go through the lyrics. Shane has them for us, because it's very important to have the correct lyrics. So this is Rick Ross's Champagne. Oh, actually, wait. Should I go in correct order? Should we go Drake first and then Rick Ross? What do you guys say?
Yeah, we can do the Drake first.
Okay. I think because you guys did tell me that Drake dropped first. So it's probably better
Drake dropped first.
Start with Drake. Okay. So in Drake's response to what most people believe was initially started out to be for Kendrick Lamar, it looks like he's taking shots at Future, Metro, Rick Ross, The Weeknd. Like he got something for everybody. He sprinkled in a little something for everybody. And this song, okay, so I don't know if he's really actually named it, but everyone's calling it what do they call it? Like the push up or 50, dropping give me 50.
Dropping give me 50.
Okay, so right now it doesn't have an official name, but we'll just call it Drop and Give Me 50 because that's basically what the chorus is or whatever. So, okay, let's get into this because he had a lot to say. It's so fucking long. So we'll just start with the beginning, okay? So he said, "Look, I could never be nobody number one fan. Your first number one, I had to put it in your hand. You pussies can't get booked outside America for Nan. I'm out in Tokyo because I'm big in Japan. I'm the hit maker y'all depend on. Tough on record in my city, it was friend zone. You won't ever take no chain off us. How the fuck you big stepping with the size 7 men's on? This the bark with the bite. Niggas, what's up? I know my picture on the wall when y'all cook up. Extortion, baby. Whole career you been shook up. Cause Top told you drop and give me 50 like some push-ups. Huh. Your last one bricked. You're really not on shit. They make excuses for you because they hate to see me lit. Pull your record. Sorry, my damn dog is distracting me. Pull your contract because we gotta see the split. And the way you doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip. You better do that motherfucking show inside the biddy. Maroon 5 need a verse. You better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. Top said drop. You better drop and give him 50. So that's a lot. Just off the first verse alone, it does seem like he's shooting a lot of shots at Kendrick. I think people were saying that the size 7 men's shoe was apparently for Kendrick.
Oh, all that's for Kendrick. All of that was for Kendrick.
All of it. Okay,
I think all of that was for Kendrick. I think up until the part of the shoe size, I think that first part could also be shots at Future too.
Okay. So that's what I was confused at. So I thought what they're trying to say is that the line where it goes, I could never be nobody number one fan. Your first number one I had put in your hand. You and then he says about the Tokyo shit or whatever. They're saying that those two lines are supposedly just for Future. Do you guys think that's true?
So I think that's for Kendrick because the Janet Jackson sample off Kendrick's first album. I think that's the number one that Drake was talking about. You know what I'm saying? I
Oh,
think
you
that's
know what?
Kendrick's
You're right.
first number one single, Poetic Justice. That's the name of it. And so
Oh shit!
I think that might
I
be
forgot
Kendrick's
Drake was
first.
on that.
That might be Kendrick's first number one single. So if that's the case, you needed me to get your first number one, basically, is what he's saying. So
Got you.
So
So I
that's why
guess
to
that
me,
would make sense.
That's to me that's for Kendrick. Backstage in my city, it was friend zone. Remember we talked about that because after the Control verse, they ran into each other, and it's just rap, bro. And I, so that's
Gotcha.
a reference to that again. The size 7 mid zone, I think we know it because Kendrick's short. So there you go.
I know he's that short.
Girls.
He's a shit.
Marcus, how would you feel if a dude, like, rather than even really shoot at you for real, he decided to throw in like your shoe size or something, like to try and clown you?
So this is when we talk about battling, joning, whatever you want. Like, there are no rules. Like there are no rules. So Drake basically got exposed by first of all, Drake destroyed Meek, right? Destroyed Meek. Everybody, no one thinks Meek came out ahead on any level against Drake, right? Everybody agrees with that. Now, Pusha comes along, destroys Drake, arguably, but for the most part, very few think that even though Drake didn't lose, he still came out, he bleeds, that type of thing.
Yeah.
Drake lost.
He
Drake lost that.
Yeah, he
You
lost.
can just be honest about it. Like,
Okay,
battle.
okay.
It's okay.
So now
it didn't hurt his career, but he lost that battle.
Yeah. So, but now here's the thing: everybody's not pushing, and Drake is like, "Hey, like, just because one dude got me, don't think that it's like it's sweet over here. Like, everybody can come for me. Like, hold on, I still am that nigga." And see, we had a different opinion last week with Cole because when none of this came out, everything was speculation, right? Now, let's just assume Cole never apologized and he fired off the 7 minutes against Kendrick, and then Drake dropped this. Who knows what would have happened? Now people gonna come for Cole, come for Drake. Cole's out. We know that now. Cole.
Do you blame him though? Do you did you think that he saw this down the pipeline and he said, "I'm out the way"?
I think like that meme said, they said niggas finna be outside shooting, get your ass back in the house.
I think he had an idea, but I don't think he knew that it was going to be this crazy.
Yeah.
And also, Drake is always how Floyd always stayed in shape. Floyd never he always, that's how he was able to always fight, because he never got out of fight shape. He was always training even without a fight. Without this battle, and I think Eric has said it before, Drake has been on the decline of same old Drake. I don't want to hear that. I'm not really looking for anything new from Drake. It's the same. I don't want to say Khaled because it's not a repetitiveness, but it's just like summer anthem.
Almost predictable.
Yeah,
we got to a point where he was coasting for a while, and even if it was really good Drake music, it's still just we were so used to it at a certain point, and it's wild to say, but at a certain point, it happened to Jay-Z too.
Oh, really?
At a certain point, it happened to Kanye too, before Kanye actually got bad. It happens to everyone where niggas do get sick of you after a while. If you're on top for so long and that's all they hear, and you're all they hear after a while, niggas will get sick of you. It's just kind of the nature of the shit. And again, especially when we don't see much change in what you're doing, when it's like the same, when we're getting basically the same formulaic shit, how are we supposed to feel?
Yeah, exactly. And I think that like I think when people have something that pops, they want to just keep repeating it over and over again, just like not the music industry, but like the movie industry, you know, like they know that the Godzilla or the King Kong shit, Spider-Man is going to keep people coming to the movie theater. So they just like tweak it a little bit, you know, but you're right. After a while, it's like, goddamn, how many goddamn King Kongs do we need? You know what I mean? So I get it. I understand why artists would lean into it because they think that's what. But you're right. Like I think even remember DaBaby, he was on top for like a year, 2 years, and then when he was at the peak, people were like, "Dude, how many times are you gonna do the same fucking flow?" You know. So I can understand that. That's very true. So do you think that this battle though is bringing out a new side of Drizzy? Like, are we getting a new flow? Are we getting
No,
It's not anything. It's not anything new, but it does feel refreshing because of who he's battling. Okay. He's not just going at anybody. He's going at some of the top dogs right now. You know what I mean? Like with the battle with Meek, like that was a fun thing for us because of what was going on at the time. Mm-hmm. But that kind of came and went. And with Push, that was the last time that he was like really battle tested and we were really trying to see what he was going to say. So I feel like we're kind of back in that, we're right back in that mode now, but now it's different for a few reasons. Number one, he's energized. And two, he's going at somebody who they've been going subliminally at each other for going on 10 years now. So now it's like all that subliminal shit is out the window. We know exactly who you're talking about now. So now that's exciting because it's like, all right, finally, now you don't have to talk so much in code anymore. Now you can just say how you feel on records, and we're gonna know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, that is refreshing. You're right. I'm so sick of when people just sub. So it's like, just say the goddamn name. Like, send the shot. Stop being pussy. Like, you know, for lack of a better word, like, or chicken. I'm sorry. Stop being a little chicken. Like, bro. So I agree. I totally agree. But anyway, so we got to get a little bit more lyrics. I know Shane loves when we get to the lyrics. Shane, are there any other lyrics that stood out to you?
Really, the second verse to me, in Push-Ups, on this part, let me see any other. I mean, every time he mentions Top told you drop and give me 50, Top is Top Dog of TDE, which is who Kendrick assigned to forever. So,
but isn't he on Interscope now?
50% of his record.
You said that one more time, Marcus.
That's because if I'm not mistaken, doesn't he gotten 50% of his that's why I was dropping Give Me 50, because he gets 50% of his contract. It was a subliminal at his situation too.
Yeah.
So
because he starts getting into contract talk later in the verse, you know what I'm saying? So that actually lines up perfect. I'm glad you said that. Yeah. Because I didn't know that's what that was in reference to. So I just know Top tells you drop and give me 50. I thought he was basically just saying, nigga, if Top Dog tells you to drop and give him 50 push-ups right now, nigga, you'll do it because you his bitch. Like, I kind of took it as that, but if it's that, then that's even more clever. But let me see. Oh yeah. Your last one, Brick, you're not really on shit. They make excuses for you because they hate to see me lit. Pull your contract because we got to see the split. The way you doing splits, bitch, your pants might rip. So that's the 50% probably right there. Because obviously if you're doing the splits, your body is in half, so 50-50. So yeah.
I like the Maroon verse, or Maroon 5 need a verse. You better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties.
Yeah,
what's that part about? Did he do a song with Taylor Swift?
You better.
He did a song with both.
Show inside the Biddy. First of all, that's also a shot at Kendrick. Kendrick's from Compton. He's from a blood neighborhood, so Drake's playing with that a little bit. Maroon 5 need a verse. You better make it witty. Then we need a verse for the Swifties. So he's basically saying, in order for you to recoup, you better start doing some of these pop hits, nigga, and make top his money. Because you're not gonna do it on your own. You're not gonna do it on your own. Your last album bricked. So you go do some shit with Taylor Swift, go do some shit with Maroon 5, and get this nigga his money back.
Oh my gosh, that's so foul. Okay. And then what did you guys feel about the line for Metro? I was like, damn, why you got so much hate for Metro?
Because hey,
Metro made a whole album dissing this nigga. What do you mean?
All right.
So I gotta say this because Metro's from St. Louis.
Yeah.
And I have to ride with Metro because he's the hometown guy.
Uh-huh.
I have to ride with Metro because he's the hometown guy.
I feel like there's a major butt coming somewhere.
I mean, too. I'm waiting.
I can't like Metro. I have to ride with Metro because he's the hometown guy.
So you put your cape on, so you just caping for niggas.
So like Metro came off the porch and he hit him with a good shot, and I mean Metro, like I said, Metro is the hometown guy, so
you gotta show support.
I gotta show support to Metro because he's the hometown guy. Like I can't not go against Metro. So
yeah, exactly.
So yeah, like Metro gonna come back. He gonna say something. Them drums gonna hit. He gonna do something. He gonna
do a little boom cat.
He gonna shut his whole ass up and gonna make some drums, nigga. Is that what you're saying?
The drums gonna hit like they ain't never hit. They drums finna hit like Wakanda, nigga. That's how I'm riding for Metro. The drums.
I'll bring that around later. I'll bring that around later.
And make some drums. That's what
he already kind of did respond, but I'll bring that around later.
Yeah, the drums.
Okay, yeah.
Remember how everybody was on the Wakanda drums and and T'Challa? That's the way Metro's finna come back. That's the way Metro is about to come back.
I feel that because I feel like Metro gonna have to because Drake has definitely been trolling him. Like I guess apparently I saw some clip online of Drake sending a whole marching band over to Magic City in Atlanta, supposedly as a I guess salute to Metro or something. I don't know.
No, that's where Metro had promoted his album.
Yeah, I guess it's just being weird, petty. It's
like I this is why Jesus will never bless me to win the lottery, because when rich niggas get petty, they do it to a level that I can never do. Like I'm not like I'm a petty nigga. I am a petty nigga, but I have never hired anyone to orchestrate my petty. Like I've always been the orchestrator of my petty. Like, oh, I'm going to do this. I might have put a lot of time, energy, and effort. So I might have spent some money doing it, but I've never hired someone to orchestrate my petty.
You're all right.
Yeah, that's a different level. That's a different level.
It is.
But yeah, so I think it's gonna be hard for Metro to ignore this line. Get more love in the city that you from, nigga. Metro, shut your whole ass up and make some drums, nigga. Like, damn, Drake, you just threw him a one line and just said, fuck him.
Marcus said that his solution is to do exactly that.
Make more drums. Fuck it.
Make more Wakanda, nigga. You go if you gonna make drums, make the best drum. You gonna play that drum. You gonna rat-a-tat. You gonna drum, nigga. You better.
I mean, apparently Drake thinks that he's about to do some drumline shit in a second because he even put that meme up with the deep fake of Metro in the drum line. Like he's a different level of petty. But I like that Drake isn't doing the. Personally, I hate Drake does the whole like tough guy mob talk because it's like. Drake, we know you not. We
is
know
that your Soulja Boy impression?
Yes, because it's like Drake. Like, come on.
You know what it is. You know what it is. Here's what it is.
You ain't creeping down the block.
Here's what it is. And Shane will vouch for this, and I know he will. It's because there's like. I'm not even gonna say their names or whatever, but if you know, you know. There's like at least 2 to 3 like real street niggas that are around Drake that probably amp that nigga up a little bit to have that
for
type
sure.
of energy.
For sure.
That's all.
And
That's what
I'm
I'll
sure
say.
they're just ready
No,
to be like, oh, let me prove
no,
myself.
okay.
But
So to be fair, someone of Drake's caliber, we does have shooters. I'm not
yeah,
even like, you do have those type of people around you.
for sure.
Now,
But was you
ju-
ever a shooter yourself, Aubrey?
no,
Yeah.
he's hired them. You've
Right.
hired shooters.
But
They're-
that's to me that's that shit where it's like, don't be doing the whole because like if you were Tony Montana or something, you know what I mean? Okay, sure. But it's like Drake, you even have claimed yourself that you're an R&B nigga. So it's like Drake, and then on all your songs are about chicks who piss you off and shit like that. So it just to me, it'd be like Drake, I don't need you to do the mob talk and shit because like. I don't know. I'm sure it scares somebody, but it's just like you're sending someone else's henchman, and that just is not as flexy as you thought it was. Just me personally.
Not to get off subject, but don't act like them R&B niggas ain't tough out here.
Well,
we've seen how
there
R&B
are some
niggas get down
niggas who
throughout the
crack you
past
down.
couple of years. They
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Apparently, Trey Songz is one of them, and he was fighting Jacquees just a couple weeks ago. So I guess you're right.
Trey
guess you're
Songz
right.
has been known to get down with niggas when he got to. Like,
Yeah,
definitely, you know what I'm saying?
that's
like,
true. Oh, so speaking of R&B niggas though, who jumped into the conversation,
yeah.
I didn't expect Weeknd to really be a part of the conversation that much. Is it because they were saying that he was on a Future song and they're alluding that like when he said a line, I got to pull up his lyrics, but they're saying that he said a line that was basically like, thank God I didn't sign that deal, like sign my life away or whatever. But my thing is, I didn't know that was supposed to be a Drizzy diss because I thought he did sign to OVO for a while.
So, okay, so I can break that down a little bit. So, Weeknd actually was never signed to OVO. Drake discovered him like right around the time that he was doing the Trilogy project, and they like had like one of those like under the table deals where like they were like working together heavily all the time, but when all like came said and done, Weeknd never ended up signing with Drake. So whenever he said that, that definitely was a true shot. And that's another beef that's been going on for years and years. The Weeknd and Drake have been beefing for ever since The Weeknd really blew up, really. So that's been an ongoing beef for years. And then the other interesting thing to me about The Weeknd's feature on Future's album is, number one, he's not just featured on one song. He's featured on like half the album. Half the album feels like a Weeknd, Future, and Metro project. Like, it doesn't just feel like a Future album. That's the first part. Number two, the more interesting thing about this is Weeknd said not too long ago that he was done doing features, I think like last year after he was on that Diddy album. And he said he was done doing features. So for him to pop out to do basically a half collaboration album with Future and Metro, pretty interesting to me.
Yeah. So I guess you're right. I didn't even realize that the beef was that long between him and Weeknd. Like I thought maybe it was like something that happened recently, but apparently I just was not paying enough attention to the rap beefs and the R&B beefs because I had no freaking clue. Basically he told Weeknd in his lyrics, he said, claim the 6 and you boys ain't even come from it. And when you boys got rich, you had to run from it. Cash blowing Abel Bread out here tricking shit. We do for bitches, he doing for niggas. And like that
Cash
was
is
that
the Weeknd's manager.
We'll say that again.
Cash is Weeknd's manager.
Oh, got you.
So that's why that hits.
Oh, got you. So he's saying that your manager's blowing your money.
Shit we do for bitches, he doing for niggas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, because I was like, are you trying to say that Weeknd is out here on the DL? Okay, got you. Okay. So he's saying that his manager's out here tricking off his money for dudes, which is actually kind of funny because isn't Drake the one who named his album for the dogs? Anyway, never mind. None of my business. Okay. So that was a shot for the weekend. Okay. And then now we get to the lyric for Rick Ross. He said, I might take your latest girl and cuff her like I'm Ricky. Can't believe he jumping in this nigga turning 50. Every song that made it on the chart he got from Drizzy. Worry about whatever going on with you and I'm guessing that line was for you and Diddy.
Oh yeah, I think he took that bar out because this song. Okay, so I meant to give a backstory on this. For people who don't know, this song didn't even originally or officially come out. This just leaked over the weekend somehow. But two versions of this ended up leaking. So the version that we're reading includes that Diddy line, and there's another version where he took that line out.
Gotcha.
So that's why that's different. But yeah.
Got you. Okay. That makes a lot more sense.
Which
Now.
also
Okay.
kind of goes to what we talked about earlier. Drake is always ready. Like I feel, I honestly feel that's why he's trolling. He has a response to the response without hearing the response.
Right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, yeah, he didn't even. But I mean, he must have heard somehow because like the Rick Ross thing hadn't dropped yet, right?
But that
no,
just
but
gets
Ross
into...
was on the Future album, and to me, I feel like basically once that whole album, in a way, was basically a long shot at Drake. I kind of feel like if you are on that album, then you're kind of like complicit. It's kind of, to me, it kind of reminds me of when 50 used to beef. Like, if you are even cool with anybody that 50 was beefing with, then you got shot at too. So that's kind of what that reminds me of.
Hence why they told Cole to go in the house. I mean, nigga, don't be outside right now, because Dreamville ain't got shit for these shells that are coming. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I think it.
There's one.
Right. I think
There's only
he saw
one
all of this shit come in and he said, let me get the fuck up out of the way. Let me tell everybody in the game I'm here for peace, love, and music. And let me just kumbaya this beef. And I understand because it really is getting pretty hot. How did you feel about these lyrics, Shane? Like, do you feel like it's true that like basically Drake's saying that he put Future on, he put Weeknd on, he put Rick Ross on, he's saying he put Kendrick on. I feel like he's definitely having a Kanye moment because this is something Kanye would totally say all over a fucking track. But how do you feel?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's great battle talk. Anytime you can back up battle bars with some sort of truth, it lends credibility to it. So did Drake blow Kendrick Lamar up? No. But did he give him his first #1 hit? Yes. You know what I'm saying? So he does have that. So there is a little bit of truth in that. There is a claim that you wouldn't be as big as you are if I didn't do that for you, because if you take away that song, you potentially don't have a #1 hit. Then are you Kendrick Lamar? You know what I'm saying? So because it has a little bit of truth to it, it makes it hit harder, I think. So he did put the Weeknd on. I don't even think there's really any debate in that. Like, he can straight up claim that, and I think everybody has to just kind of like, yeah, you put him on.
Aren't
like
they both from Canada?
Yeah, but Drake was popping first, though. Drake had his Young Money situation going already when the Weeknd started popping. So, and that
Is
was
Weeknd like
facilitated
not from Toronto though?
Nah, he's from somewhere else in Canada. I don't remember exactly what the name of the city's from, but it's not directly in Toronto.
Okay.
So yeah, that was kind of facilitated through Drake. Drake was already kind of becoming Drake when the Weeknd started popping. So it was almost the same thing as like 50 blowing up and then G-Unit popping right after him. It's like, 50 put them on. So it's kind of the same thing.
Okay.
So he can claim that. He can't really claim the Future thing. Like, I don't really understand that one so much. You know what I'm saying? I know they've done a lot of work together, but That's just battle talk, I think. Just he's got to have something to say. So fuck it. I made you too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think he just had to have something to say. That's not really backed by anything. I don't think. But as far as like having the shots at Rick Ross ready ahead of time, I think that's just like Eric said, that's battle technique also. Because you got to think like Drake hangs around actual battle rappers, like the ones who get on stage and battle, not just, you know, industry battle on beats. So we've seen it already with the Meek Mill situation. We know this nigga's a strategist. Like, he puts out the one song, then he puts out another song called Back to Back. He's from Toronto. Toronto beat Philly back to back in the playoffs. He uses the playoff picture as the album artwork on the second diss track. It's against Meek Mill, who's from Philly. Like, so we know this nigga's a strategist. You know what I'm saying? Like, he puts shit together in ways. On his team is. Yeah. But whoever represents Drake or whoever is responsible for the presentation of it is very masterful in how they do it, because it goes beyond just the music, you know, and then making it a club song, and you know, so you got to hear it all the time and all of that. Like, so with that being said, the fact that he's a strategist, the fact that he hangs out with battle rappers who by nature kind of write defensively. It's like, oh, he might say this about me, so let me counteract that with this, or let me address it first, so that way if he says it, it's going to take the sting out because I already said it, or, you know, different things like that. Like, Drake is aware of these type of techniques, I think. So, you know, I'm not surprised to see that from him. The only thing I'm surprised by really is the speed of response of Rick Ross. Like, that's kind of, but we haven't gotten there yet. But that's kind of the most shocking thing to me out of all of it.
I want to, you touched on something real quick. And because when you talk about Drake versus Future is known as what? A toxic dude, like the toxic rapper. But is he more toxic than Drake? Or if there was an arch nemesis to Future, who else could it be other than Drake?
I think it depends on the type of delivery that people think is worse. So it just depends, right? Like, because they're both toxic, they both do the same shit as far as what they talk about in the music. You know what I'm saying? Having a bunch of different bitches breaking hearts and all that type of shit, right? Like, having their heart broken, you know what I'm saying? Because they fucking around, but they don't want the chick to leave, and, you know, all that type shit. So, but Drake delivers it in a almost apologetic, soft, emotional manner, where it's like he does the like baby don't leave me version of like, yeah, I know I'm toxic, but I'm still good, so just give me a chance, and you know, maybe later it'll be good. Whereas Future is more like, look, bitch, this is what it is. You know what I'm saying? You can take it or leave it. You feel me? Like, so
might be this way, might be that way.
If you want that blunt, yeah, like if you think the blunt approach is like more rude or whatever, then Future's worse. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you think Drake is almost like emotionally manipulating his way into the situation and then dipping, like, that's worse. So, you know, it just kind of depends on how you look at it, I guess. But they both the same, nigga.
Yeah. And then, so, okay, we got to get onto the Rick Ross stuff. But I did want to talk more about, like, some of the subliminals that Future was sending to Drake on the album. Because, like, there was one where I didn't even realize, like, he basically, I think, was alluding to saying that, like, he wrote a verse for Drake on one of his old songs because he did, like, the same flow. And I'm trying to remember what song it is because I was listening to it earlier. And I'll look it up. I'll try and find it later or whatever. But, like, between us guys, like, is that really even that big of a fucking deal anymore? Like, when other rappers write for each other and, like, you know, you just pass it off as your own. Like, we've had the conversation a few times about, you know, Snoop Dogg writing for Dr. Dre. And, you know, no one has ever come up to Dr. Dre and been like, yeah, nigga, we take that one off your record, you know, because that one's really Snoop. Like, no one actually has ever, you know, said anything about Dr. Dre. So now that Future is kind of like trying to be like, oh yeah, I remember that hit that Drake had? I really wrote that. Or they're also having like there was also like recently a Lil Yachty like version leak of one of Drake's songs, and so they're trying to like show like, oh, these are all his ghostwriters, and like my thing is like,
Yeah.
do we really care? Like, does that really matter in rap nowadays?
Here's my
nowadays, no.
stance on that.
No.
Well, here's my stance on that. This is my just personal stance. Anybody who displays like a clear, obvious talent in another area in music doesn't need to necessarily write. So here's what I mean by that. Dr. Dre being your example, he's more known as being an ill producer than he is a rapper. So kind of give him a pass because he is doing the producing. You know what I'm saying? He's putting the music together and coaching the artists in a way that's making them rap better and making them enunciate better and making them deliver the raps as good as possible, or changing their verse because the verse could be better or things of that nature. So when he's producing, he's like, and he's an amazing mixer too. Like if you listen to Dr. Dre and then you listen to really anybody else's records, you can almost hear the difference in how Dr. Dre mixes. It's so crisp and clear. It's like, it's amazing. So that's his talent to me. So the fact that he doesn't necessarily write his own raps, I'm like, I don't really give a fuck. Like, you know what I'm saying? Same with Eazy-E. Eazy-E didn't write his own raps either, but he had an amazing ear for talent. He discovered Bone Thugs. He put together NWA. You know what I'm saying? The DLC was under Eazy-E until he had his car accident. He was a great rapper, especially for that time. So Eazy-E's talent wasn't necessarily rapping. It was the ear for music. That's kind of same with Diddy. Diddy doesn't write his own shit, but the ear for the talent is what his talent is. You know what I'm saying? He can always figure out who the next star is going to be. French Montana, Biggie, The Lox. You know what I'm saying? Shine.
Jody Breeze gave him the best verse ever.
You always say that too, right? Boys in the Hood, though. That was him.
Jody Breeze gave Diddy pictures of Christopher all up in my. That was the best. Like, so yeah, nigga, not everybody gets to write for Diddy. That's the difference. That's the flex of Diddy.
True.
Right.
Okay.
But so that's what I mean, though. So that's his talent.
Okay.
And etc. And even like in other genres of music, like I don't get mad at R&B singers who don't write because their talent is singing. So you don't have to write as long as you can sing good. That's why, you know what I'm saying? Now the difference with rap to me is people who are known as rappers. That's the difference, right? So again, Dr. Dre, producer, Eazy-E, executive, Diddy, executive. But if we found out Lloyd Banks wasn't writing his own shit, I'm going to be highly disappointed because you're known as a rapper and the talent is the words. You know what I'm saying? Right. It's different than R&B where the talent is the singing, or playing instruments, the talent is being able to play the guitar or whatever. In rap, the talent is the words and putting the words together. So if you're not doing that, where's your talent?
So what about like with Drake? Do you think it counts? Because I mean, he's this weird in between.
I feel like with his 16s, where he's just rapping 16s, that counts. Like you need to be writing that. You know what I'm saying? Like you need to be writing your own bar if you're gonna call yourself a rapper. When he's singing, I don't really care.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. I mean, so it sounds like a bunch of people in the industry now want to be like, yo, or they're trying to share like who his ghostwriters are, or like expose like I was one of his writers. So I guess it could. My thing is like if this was like the first time we'd heard about it, or like the first time we'd ever caught Drake using a ghostwriter, then it would be like, oh my God. But like, remember years ago we found that one dude, and ever since then we've all kind of been like, like we get it. You got the money, you gonna buy the niggas.
And the thing about it is,
real quick, Eric, my bad. I actually have one other point I wanted to make. The only other exception to that rule that I was saying earlier, for rappers, is if you're like a Snoop Dogg or somebody like that, where we know you have the talent. You've put out enough of your own music over the years to where it's like, we know you can rap, nigga, you're good. So if somebody gives you a verse, because they trying to get on and they want a writing credit, you know, and it's like, yo, I wrote that verse for Snoop Dogg. Like I'm actually nice. You know what I'm saying? That I give a pass also. You know what I'm saying? Or Jay-Z writing Snoop's part on Still Dre. It's like, Snoop, we know you can rap, nigga, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I give that a pass also at a certain point. But that's the only other thing I wanted to say.
Okay, that's fair. Okay. Well, I figured we switch gears a little bit and we get into Rick Ross's diss, unless anybody has anything else to say about the Drizzy diss. No. Okay. My only thing was like, goddamn, that was a long one. I feel like that was like one of the longest one of the longest songs and verses like that we just had Drake just full on rap the whole thing. So I was actually kind of proud of him because I was like, okay, like you ain't do a whole lot of fluff, a whole lot of we making a whole club banger. Like he really just got to it. I ain't mad at that.
He had a lot
right,
of
Shane.
niggas
Like
to shoot at.
that gave battle rap vibes. Would you say, Eric?
He had a lot of niggas to shoot at.
Yes, he was like, how many minutes I got? Okay. He just decided
he did troll at the end.
So yeah, that was pretty interesting.
He did troll at the very end though, with that like what was it, 4 bars of singing he put on the end. I was like, oh, this nigga, like he just trolled everybody at the end. Got this hard ass diss.
Yeah, he definitely did. And he was kind of talking too.
Last 4. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, he was definitely in his bag. He was like, you know what, fuck these niggas. Let me throw a little bit of Drake, a little bit Drake sauce on it. I feel it. Okay, so let's talk about Rick Ross though. Not like that, creepies. Anyways, let's talk about Rick Ross. I kind of wanted to have our Rick Ross impersonator, Marcus, read this, but I don't know if he's prepared for his solo moment.
Nah, yeah, I don't.
It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna say the best lines for you. We're gonna go back and go for the best lines for you. We're gonna have to have you redo them. Okay, let's just start off with the first verse, as you should. So basically, this is what he says. So the first verse, he said,
oh
shit.
Uh-oh.
Now I gotta read it for real because she did.
Right, I was gonna say, if you need me to do it, I got it. I don't know what happened there.
That fucking Midwest
Fish,
Wi-Fi.
well, here, fish tanks and marble floors, living big and bad. Niggas laugh till they hit with my official jab. Crack smoke is the exhaust from my pen and pad. Ghost writers get to floss what you could have had. So immediately out the gate, coming with the accusations, you know what I'm saying, of ghost writing. Crack smoke is the exhaust from my pen and pad is just a hard line, though. That's just hard. Record labels taking a loss. Are you in your bag? You a worker wanting to chart. Don't make me laugh. So Rick Ross, that's basically, yo, I own Maybach Music. You know what I'm saying? I sign artists and shit like that. Like, you do this whole OVO thing, but ain't you really signed to other people? And who's popping on OVO? That's how I read that. Get to mine, tell by my watch, this a different time. Living fine, I'm getting high as your shit decline. So that's just a simple way of saying what Eric was saying before. That like Drake, you're not really hitting like that no more, my boy. You know what I'm saying? What do y'all think so far? I'm fucking with the flow too.
I think Rick Ross came with the best Rick Ross had. Okay. I think this is Ross in his bag. I ain't gonna say deep, but this is him. He's in because we don't ever get to see this time. So this is Ross in his bag having fun. You know what I'm putting? This is in your bag, Ross. So
I'm fucking with it.
Yeah, and as a fan, I'm not disappointed. It's funny. He like I said before, the outro talking was, I think, better than the bars.
I got you, Eric. What you think, bro?
I agree. I really appreciate how quick he dropped this. Like, me and you were talking about this when we first heard it, Shane. We were having the conversation of how quick do we think he had this in the stash? Like, do we think he like just recorded it like this week? or do you think like it was like one of those where like he just hit the button, recorded that day, and then said, "All right, fuck it, we're dropping right now." And to me, this feels like one of those that also, because as smart as Drake is, Ross is also smart. So
Yep.
this feels like he had one ready just in case Drake said something.
That's what I think. That's what I
Like,
think. I think
so
he has
and that's why I
ready
agree
on
with you,
deck.
Marcus. Like, this isn't like the hardest Ross verse ever, but it's a funny ass verse though.
I think he had this shit on deck already and was just waiting for Drake to say something. And then as soon as he got the confirmation, because at first it was like rumors, it was like, oh shit, is this is it real? Like, did Drake really put this out? Was it, AI? Like, it was that at first. And then it was like, nope, this is confirmed. This is real. This is actually Drake for sure dissing everybody. Like, and then once he got that confirmation, all he had to do was click upload. That's what I think. Like, I think that shit was ready. Like,
Yeah.
So, assuming that's true,
okay.
assuming that Ross had it in the clip and he was ready, right?
Yep.
Does it help or hurt his narrative, or is it more like, so? If you had it and it's this good and is it ingenious, or is it like let's just assume everything that you said is like, so is it a negative or a positive?
I think it's a positive because I don't think anybody expected. First of all, the fact that he responded, period, would have been a plus in and of itself. The fact that he responded this quickly and it was good makes it better because now he's kind of running and having fun with it. Like, you saw him on stage the other day. If people didn't see, he was running around with a Drake hoodie on while he was performing on stage, and he just put the official diss out on streaming, and Drake is the art. It's like a white boy version of Drake and shit. So he's having fun with it.
Hilarious. Fucking hilarious, yo. When you sent that shit, Marcus, in the group chat, I was like, oh my God, I lost my shit laughing, dog. Like, that's an excellent picture. Like,
a lot of people don't, like, if you don't pay enough attention to Rick Ross on like social media, Ross is a clown, bro.
Yes.
Ross is a clown. So I won't be surprised if we get more funny shit like this, because that's how he beefs. Ross beefs differently than he doesn't really beef in the like serious way. He tries to poke fun at everything. So yeah. I think we're gonna see a lot more comedy out of Ross throughout this.
I agree. I think
because I'm this might be for the end, but I really believe that everybody is gonna have a kumbaya moment, and J. Cole will be seen as Khaled for this, and everybody's gonna be on one song.
Well, we'll see. We'll see after.
It might be years in the making.
Yeah.
Like, it won't be in like 2024. But I could definitely see Metro doing a beat, Future having a hook, Drake having a verse, Cole having a 8-bar intro. Like, it's too, and it's I don't know if it's we are the world of hip hop. I don't know if it's that kind of moment. Poetry. Yeah, but it definitely, and then it could. I would actually was it Monster? No, it could be like Mercy.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Like more like Mercy. I was gonna say Monster, but that was the wrong verse. That was the wrong song title. I mean, it could be like a Mercy moment where it's like, okay, wherever so.
All right. So then he goes, who believes he moving keys in his Louis V's, run up on you and snatch your chain, watch you bitches bleed. Feel the pain I just described when you really ride. Either you niggas getting money or ready to die. B.I.G. or give a fuck if you Chi Ali. You got it and you keep it tucked if you be by me. So Obviously, you feel the pain that just described when you really ride. Either you niggas getting money or ready to die. BIG. So that's that. Or give a fuck if you Chi Ali. So Chi Ali is a dude. Just for those who don't know, he was in a group. He was actually like a teenager rapper. He was like a kid rapper, but he's from New York, and basically, to make a long story short, his brother-in-law, so his sister's either boyfriend or husband, they got into it on the phone, and the brother-in-law told him to suck his dick on the phone. He's like, suck my dick. You know what I'm saying? So Chi Ali shows up to where this nigga's at, you know what I'm saying, with a gun, shoots this nigga for telling him to suck his dick on the phone, and went to jail for like 20 years or some shit. He just got out like not too long ago. So that's what that is. Basically, he's saying, I don't care if you Chi Ali, like, nigga, you're not about to talk crazy to me. You could be ready to die too. So you got it, and you keep it tucked if you be by me. So basically, Ross is always with the shooters. Do the job, better known as the Charles Schwab, double R spread through the yard, and I swear to God. So that's a little light jabs, you know, in the first one. He really gets into it in the second one, though. In the second verse, that's where he gets into his real bag. In the first one, he was kind of just flexing his flow a little bit and his rhymes. But so the white boy thing, this is what I think that means. Because and I could be mistaken. So if I'm mistaken, you know, alert me. Let me know. Put it in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me know. But I think in Jewish culture, if your mother is Jewish, that makes you Jewish. So his mother being the Jewish white person in the house, his dad is the black one, that is what makes Drake Jewish. So he's white boy. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the correlation he's making. I could be wrong, but I think that's what that means. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm pretty
we'll go with it.
Yeah, I'll roll with that.
We know he's not Hebrew Israelite.
Right. So
I mean, like,
yeah, he's like traditional Jewish. Like, so he says, getting bullied, don't walk up on me because the clip is fully niggas pussy. You don't want to push me like really Woody, like his moves, but he never had a fight at school. Always ran, another nigga had to write your groove. So again, ghostwriting accusations, but just he's calling him a punk bitch. He says he's never even gotten a scrap before. That shit's hilarious. Flo is copy and paste. Weezy gave you the juice. Another white boy at the park want to hang with the crew. So again, like, nigga, you're not even really the type of nigga that be around us like that. You know what I'm saying? You playing a part, you front.
I thought that line was
about
French. My bad. I thought that line was about French. That's what the internet was saying, was that like the new white boy is French, and that like supposedly Drake did something to French Montana, and that's why Rick Ross is going crazy about him. But you know, who knows? The internet be
that whole thing. Like, he gets into that in the outro when he's talking shit.
Got you. Okay, so they probably just like took that brush and colored it all over the thing, and it's like that there was a specific line for that. Not everything is about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking the majority of this is about Drake, and maybe a line here and there might be in reference to somebody else. Because to call French a white boy is crazy anyway. The nigga's from Africa. Like, let's you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not even like, he was born over there and then moved here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, he's African American. You know what I'm saying? So that would be goofy anyway, but you know, I digress.
Okay.
Get incentives for all the killers while we ride rentals. Look, excuse me. Excuse me. Look me right in my face. He beginning to shake. Told you niggas stay scheming. I predicted my fate. So remember the song, French Montana and Drake did together. Stay scheming, where Drake was throwing shots at Kendrick originally, actually. Got more money than you. Fuck you want me to say. 50 mil for the crib where you want me to stay. I could shoot up the block. I got pictures to paint. Let you DM my hoes, but got bitches you can't. So that's always a because that's always Drake's go-to move whenever he's beefing with somebody is to DM that girl like instantly. So he was like, you can do that, but I still got bitches that you can't get, so it don't matter. Let you get on my songs, it was good for your face, and now bitch nigga it's on, ain't no room for debate. So that's that. Here go the outro, Marcus. You know what I'm saying, if you want to tackle that part, because that's your favorite part. Marcus.
Did he freeze up?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm like,
I feel
thought I
like he's
saw
just
it.
faking with us. I feel like he.
yeah, I'm like, I thought I saw the nigga.
Yeah,
blinking.
I feel like he
Like,
froze on purpose.
no, he's
Yup.
froze. Oh, that's legit froze right there.
Oh no, that is legit froze. Okay.
Is it?
No, he froze. Oh, there we go.
Oh
right,
no,
this nigga.
nah. He lied.
What the hell?
Oh, that was a good one.
I saw that.
That was a
joke.
good one.
I was trying
That
to
was a
fake
good one.
y'all
'Cause
out.
one of your eyes looked a little crazy, so I was like, nah, I don't think he could do that on purpose with his eyes.
No,
So
I couldn't do the eye. But shout out to the Lakers. They just won. So I told you I was watching the game.
You-
So
you
to
was
play
watching.
in the NBA, I'm multitasking, doing like 5 different things.
Hey,
Cool.
well,
Well,
here,
all
let me
right.
pull up
Now we know the
There you
outcome of
go.
the game. That's great.
Yeah,
Right. Here goes your favorite part. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
The outro.
This is where Raw. This is so. I feel like everything we said was true. This is what I feel like Ross did live, or this is what he recorded within the 24-hour span.
Mhm.
The entire outro, the whole thing. I think all of this was fresh and new. I think the verses was already laid, and what it clicked under file save as, but this timestamp in the I was finna say Fruity Loops, and that's so old. In the Pro Tools session, this was uploaded new. So
Okay.
the fact he says you ain't never want to be a nigga anyway, nigga. Just right there. You ain't never wanted to be a nigga anyway, nigga. Like that, just right, nigga. You ain't
That's
never
why
want
you
to be.
got the operation to make your nose smaller than your father knows, nigga.
No. You ain't never want to be a nigga anyway, nigga. Like
Nigga.
it's the nigga at the end. You ain't never want to be a nigga anyway, nigga. Like you. Like they was like, hey Drake, if you could just be a nigga. No, I don't want to be a nigga. You
gotta
I
hit him
want to
with
be in a
Jay-Z's
wheelchair.
Still nigga.
I want to act. Degrassi is real.
I cannot.
Like, you ain't never want to be a nigga anyway, nigga. Like that's crazy. That's crazy to start off. But
Yes,
and then I never
Unfollowed you, nigga. I unfollowed you, nigga, because you sent a motherfucking cease and desist to French Montana, nigga. You sent the police, nigga. Hated on the Dog Project. That wasn't the same white boy that I seen, nigga, when we was making them early records, nigga. Wasn't you happy to be around niggas? Seeing niggas?
Seeing niggas holding them sticks.
Yo, I never knew Drake to have surgery, but now looking at old pictures and comparing them to new pictures, and I'm like, did this nigga have rhinoplasty?
honestly, the rhino. We got to get down to the other part, the other surgery that got me really thinking, because the nose to me looked kind of the same to me. It was the BBL stuff, and I was like, I know you fucking lying. But we gotta get.
That nigga, Batman Kevo got a BBL. You know what I'm
He
saying?
definitely did. If he was not ashamed, though.
It wasn't a shame.
I think a lot of these rappers got BBLs and just
I'm
ain't telling us.
saying.
I think you got to call it something other than the BBL.
Okay.
Nah,
Because
They got
because
Like,
like
that's just
hey,
so
this is a true story. Like my nigga, we went to a brunch like a month ago, right? And it was like an upscale brunch. So my nigga that came that was with it was like a couple's thing. You know, everybody had their significant other.
Yeah.
But my nigga had on, like, he had a a button-up shirt, some jeans, cool, cool little laid back.
Word.
But my nigga had on some brunch boots. And any boot with the heel is fashionista. And they was I was like, my nigga, do you got on brunch boots? Like, you knew you was coming to brunch. Like, we didn't just say, hey, we going to brunch. Yeah. You knew we were going. Like, you wore these to brunch, so they're brunch boots. They're not like you. It was not like, well, we was out the night before, and then we just happened to go get because we was on a bender. No, nope. Nigga, you chose this. You woke up, got dressed.
Yeah.
And said, and did the what's the Marlon Wayans? I think I wear these. Like from Don't Be a Menace. He came with some brunch boots. So I think like having surgery now is like the equal to wearing your brunch boots. Like if you have the money and you can do the surgery, it's like, nigga, you got on brunch boots, but yeah, nigga, I do. Yeah. Because you say, yeah, they do, and they Balenciaga.
Yeah. All right, we got to have that conversation real quick.
What?
While we're there.
What?
Just because something is expensive, does it make it fly?
Hell to the fuck.
No.
He's getting ready to make fun of a nigga for wearing brunch boots, but then if the nigga all of a sudden says, but they Balenciaga though, do you then not make fun of that nigga? Like, oh, well, shit.
Nigga, if that's not trash, then it's trash.
I'm not a fashionista type of nigga, so like I'm gonna still clown your $1,200 brunch boots. Okay. Fuck if they Yeezys, Balenciaga.
Yeah,
and like a lot of that Yeezy shit ain't fly.
Just checking everybody's temperature real quick.
Yeah.
That was it,
A whole lot of that Balenciaga shit ain't fly. If we're keeping it 100.
Do you remember like I think it was Balenciaga when they dropped like it was like some dusty ass canvas shoes that they made sure had like dirt and rips and tears and all it looked like homeless man shoes. And then they put like $2,000 price tag on it and was like, yeah, you motherfuckers gonna go crazy for it. And motherfuckers did. And it was just like,
yep.
And then, and then next was like somebody made a trash bag, and I was like, I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done with the design.
Yeah,
that was also before Yeezy.
Huh?
That was before Yeezy jumped into fashion, because they were also saying that Balenciaga was a social experiment. So like, what are everyday items that people wear or have or do that if we make them high end, will be accepted? And when that article came out and everything, it was, they had paper clips and holes and then you remember Kanye was like, oh, this looks like homeless fashion because y'all treat bums like this. So I'm going to do the same thing. Like it was like that's when he was really trying to be accepted by that high fashion. And they was like, no, nigga, we're not going to let you in. No, but it was along those social. Balenciaga is a social experiment, though. Look, nobody wants to wear them damn shoes.
I wouldn't imagine.
Hell no. Anyway, we got to get back to Drake's surgeries and the other shots that Rick Ross sent his way.
I think Drake getting the surgeries too for free, just for the simple fact no one denies that he's paid for a bitch's surgery.
Oh, come on.
So,
right? Why not?
So how many do you have to pay for before you can get your own for free? And whatever that number is, Drake has reached it.
And we got to think about it, right? The nigga's an actor first, right? He's an actor turned into a Hollywood. Motherfuckers get surgery. They ain't tripping.
That's very true. I remember this one rapper that I was cool with told me how he was juicing, and I was like, if the street niggas knew he was juicing for months straight, not eating solids and shit, they would probably look at you like, bro, I need you to come up off the yoga mat. I need you to go and eat a burger, So you're right. That is definitely some Hollywood
have to be
shit.
Super duper thorough before you go that route. Like the only nigga that went that route successfully is Styles P from the Locks. You know what I'm saying? That nigga's super juice health man now. But it's like he spent years upon years killing niggas and robbing niggas and selling drugs on his album. So it's like, all right, you 50 now.
At some point.
All right, yeah.
Right.
Because this nigga had a treacherous past, he's allowed to fucking live for free.
So
Now he
now
can be a
it's
vegan.
okay. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like,
Yo,
you can't come out like that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, I
hey
mean, I
man,
guess
could
you
you
could.
imagine a gangster nigga at Trader Joe's?
you see what I'm saying? Like, it don't even.
Hell no, I don't want to see him at Trader Joe's. To be totally honest.
That's my
That's
point.
the last place I want to see a gangster nigga at.
Yo,
yeah,
for real,
like-
like when I'm getting my produce, no, nigga, you gotta
You feel
go.
me?
Someone's gotta go, and it's not gonna be me.
You don't want to
Let me-
bump into a nigga with the strap, you know what I'm saying, while you picking out bananas, nigga. That's all I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, that's
Oh
But
wow,
I
not
also-
bananas. Why you had to say bananas? Like, I mean, of all the fruits, nigga, bananas.
like
Like
you
you,
some bananas in the kitchen, bro.
yeah,
That's,
like nigga,
you know what I'm
you,
saying.
oh
We
man.
got some. They right in there. That's why.
They
Like,
just
so,
fruit.
Yo.
They're just fruit.
they just
Mark.
fruit.
hey, that'd be a crazy battle rap though. Like, I saw this nigga getting a ginger shot, and I had to get that nigga a double shot.
That's Rick Ross's next line. Why?
Yeah.
Right?
Next fucking verse is gonna be that. There's gonna be next fucking song. That's all. That's definitely on there. And probably some more to talk about Drake's liposuction. But anyway, is there anything else from that verse that we missed? Because the second one was pretty damn spicy.
No, not really. I
No,
mean,
it wasn't even a long song.
yeah,
Okay.
it wasn't that long, so it was mainly that. But yeah, no, I like the fact, like I said, that the response came quick. I appreciate that, you know.
Yeah.
Like I said, I do feel like he had it ready.
Yeah.
I feel like that song was recorded already, and he was waiting for Drake to drop some shit and say his name, and then once Drake did it, he was like, click, and uploaded the song. That's what I think happened. You know what I'm saying?
Got you.
But I appreciate that though. I like that. I like niggas who are prepared, who are ready to battle. Cause we ain't seen nothing like this really since like early 90s, really, where there were multiple people battling each other at the same time. Like we haven't seen that since like the early mid 90s, where it was like Biggie, Raekwon, Nas. They were all kind of like throwing shots at each other at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Trying to get that King of New York spot. So it was like, we haven't seen this in a minute. That's why I like it. Because it's like, even with the Ja Rule thing, it was like everybody was on Ja Rule. With this, it's like everybody's kind of for the like
sides, yeah.
free for all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With this, okay, without real quick before we, because I know we finna wrap up too.
Mm.
Without loss of life, injury, or death, you know, so any of that, right now, is this saving hip hop? Or saving, I won't say hip hop, I'll say saving rap.
It's saving lyricism and like competitiveness and wanting to be the best. Yes.
Yeah. And I,
will
think it's
also
helping
say
get number ones too. But go ahead, Eric. My bad. I didn't mean to step on you. My bad.
no, you're good. You're good. I definitely think it brought us out of kind of a dry spell a little bit. I wouldn't say that rap was in like a bad place or anything like that last year, because we got some good shit last year. But I just think that we kind of, especially for the top guys, we kind of woke even the top guys up. So now, like everyone, it just feels like everyone needs to set their shit up, or you're kind of gonna get lost in the sauce now.
Yeah, I kind of like the competition, you know, like,
Yeah.
and like what Marcus said, like, I don't want there to be loss of life. Like, I think that's where the art goes too fucking far. And it's like, okay, you niggas need to remember to keep it in the booth, nigga. But like, I do kind of like it. I do like seeing people out of their element. I can't lie. At first, I thought people were just full of shit when they kept saying that Drake was doing a whole lot of like, oh, you my favorite rapper, and oh, you my mans, you was my inspiration. I really thought like, nah, y'all are exaggerating. He really fucked with a lot of niggas. But no, like you see the clips now. Even Rick Ross put it on his shit.
Yep.
And so now you're seeing like, wow, that media coaching on that boy, that acting.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's the
He
Hollywood
knows
shit.
his lines. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is kind of fun to see everyone kind of like switching around sides, especially because like for so long it was always like, you always knew that Future and Drake were going to team up, and then you knew Drake was then going to jump on another bandwagon or do just kind of ride the wave. So it's kind of fun to see everyone just kind of get shook up a little bit, see what they do. But really quick, So I feel like I don't know if we should get like start a rating system or something, because I feel like the verses are getting a little bit better, the disses are jabbing a little bit more. So what would you guys? So I feel like really quick we should do like a quick rating on on Drake's diss and like Rick Ross's, because that was like the main people that we talked about this episode. So I don't care who starts it off, but I'm thinking like from least to greatest, from 1 to 10, how do you think Drake did?
So I'll say it's only hard to answer that because of the way it was done. This is very Takeover versus Ether. And here's what I mean by that. Takeover was a shot at multiple people. That wasn't just at Nas. That was at Mobb Deep. That was at Nas. That was at, a couple of other people. So whereas Ether was just about Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? So he had 4.5 minutes of battle bars for just one dude. You know what I'm saying? Whereas Jay-Z had 16 bars for Nas. So it's like, it's hard to compare those two. Like, so you had to wait for Jay-Z's response to Ether until you could really measure it, like for real. So I think that's kind of what we're waiting on right now. We got to wait for Drake to respond directly to Ross. And then we can kind of compare those. You know what I'm saying? Because Ross' song is all about Drake, whereas Drake's song is about Metro, Ross, Weeknd. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's.
But I feel like he did a good job. Like,
I feel like he did very good.
Put a bunch of niggas in their places in one song.
Sure. But he ran up in the school shooting though. He didn't. He didn't call a nigga
horrible way. Damn, that's horrible.
He did. Like, that's what he did. Metaphorically, like, he ran up in the school shooting. He didn't go, yo.
Say the club, something else.
No, whatever.
Shit.
I already said what I said. It is what it is. But he did that versus calling a nigga out to be like, yo, meet me on the playground at 3.
Yeah.
Me and you gonna get these hands going. You know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't do that. Everybody done been there, Marcus. Chill out. You ain't never called a nigga out or been called out to meet somebody after school to go scrap. Everybody has. So he didn't do that, though. He ran in and sprayed everybody. So that's what I'm saying. We got to wait till because Rick Ross done stepped out and said, yo, meet me outside. So now we got to see if Drake is going to meet Ross outside.
No. I don't expect Ross. I mean, Drake, too.
I'm just saying that's the only way to really compare to see who wins between them two.
Yeah.
Because Drake only had a few lines for Ross, whereas Ross had a whole song against Drake. So how do you compare lines to a whole song? That's what I'm saying.
I also don't think that Drake is let me rephrase. I don't think that Ross in the hierarchy of rebuttals is worth Drake's energy right now.
Nah, he wants it to be Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick, Metro, Future are in. We'll go Kendrick first, Future second, Metro third, Weeknd 5th, then Rick Ross. So like that. And if you have to really put it in order, so I'm gonna wait. And I'm not gonna do anything because I'm not finna spend my energy on Ross. Like, and you don't get anything from it. If Drake, let's just say Drake does have a song for Ross, and let's just say it's back back to back. It's a 3-peat or whatever scheme he comes up with. Does Drake get any points for defeating Rick Ross?
I think he does a little bit, right?
If Ross is dropping hard shit back, then yeah.
That would I think he would have to get points for that because it's not like Ross is a nobody.
Right.
I'm not saying he's a nobody.
You're thinking of this on a mainstream level. Like when we're talking battling, you got to think about this like some hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, because we're talking battling. We're not talking who's selling the most records or who's selling the most tours. We're talking about, nigga, I said this about you in this clever way. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really, because somebody else said that earlier. What can you say about Drake that hasn't already been said? Nothing really, but you can say it in different ways that haven't been said before. And that's what makes it good. You know what I'm saying? Everyone called him light skinned. Everybody's made fun of Degrassi. Sure. But how many, we haven't heard too many, like, I'll really turn you into wheelchair Jimmy bars. You know what I'm saying? We haven't heard that yet. So somebody could you see what I'm saying? No, like in the sense of a battle. Like
Yeah.
nobody's went there yet. You know what I mean? So there is shit to be said about Drake that hasn't been said yet. It's just it's just all about how you flip it. So
Right.
that's what makes a battle fun. It's like who's gonna flip that shit in the best way.
Okay.
And
Here's the thing,
why I
really.
say it's just a head up, and all that other shit don't even matter. Like,
Yeah.
Here's the thing, really, too. At the end of the day, like, based on everything that we just said, like, to me, yes, we could sit here and rate the Drake and Ross records, but like Shane said, that's not the battle that we're waiting on. We're waiting on Drake versus Kendrick. So,
Well, that's my thing though. So like it was kind of to your point, it was more of a shot towards Kendrick, Metro, and Future, and they all teamed up together. So maybe it's a better comparison to say between the Kendrick, their whole like that, okay, versus Drake's whatever 50 whatever push-ups or whatever the fuck it is.
if we're comparing both of those,
Yeah.
to me, I think so. Before I say which one I think is better, this is what I will say. I think that both of those were jabs. I think Kendrick jabbed, and I think Drake jabbed. Because first of all, the fact that this was a leak and not an official release told me that these were all jabs. That's what that told me.
Oh, and not a knockout. Like not.
Yeah, this was not Drake going his hardest at all. But he did say enough to let it be known that he is more than willing to step up to the plate and when he needs to be ready. Personally, I like Kendrick's verse better than Drake's verse towards him, but the only reason is because of one simple line, and that was the Prince and Mike Jack comparison line that Kendrick had. That to me wasn't a knockout punch, but it was a little more than a jab. Whereas the things that Drake said, a lot of jabs, a lot of really good jabs, but nothing that felt like it was leaning almost towards like a hard punch. So we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I gave Kendrick's verse I give it like a solid 7. I gave Drake's response like a solid 6 right now.
Wow. Okay. All right. What about you, Shane?
if we're using boxing language for this, which cool, we can definitely use that metaphor. I would I agree that Kendrick was jabbing and Drake was jabbing, but I have Drake ahead on points actually, because I feel like Drake he just said more about Kendrick. Like Kendrick's thing, it was almost more like the shock value of it. Like when he said the motherfuck the big three, nigga, it's just big me. It was just like, oh shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? But that was almost more, it was sort of the same effect with the Control verse. Like he said everybody's name and rhymed everybody's name, but then all he said was, if we on a song together, I'm trying to have the better verse. If you really think about it, that's all he said. He said, I'm trying to murder all of you niggas. I got love for you niggas, but I'm trying to, you know what I'm saying? That's what he said. He wasn't saying, I'm going to like even battle you really. He was just saying, if we're on a song together, I'm trying to have a better verse. That's what all of that was. And everyone blew it out of proportion and acted like, you know what I'm saying? So I think we're getting a similar thing here. He says, fuck the big three. It's just big me. Again, that's just rapper talk. Like he's just saying, don't compare me to nobody. I'm the best. You know what I'm saying? That's not even really a diss for real, but it's just because he says big three and everybody knows who he's talking about when he says that. Now it's a diss. So,
and he took it from being subliminal to being like a shot fired, aimed.
Yeah, but it was just one shot that was fired though, or one swing. If we're doing the boxing thing, like that's one connected punch, really. Like that's not the whole verse. He had some other shit in there that was more subliminal though. Like the stuff he said before that was subliminal, I would argue. And then once he got to that part, then it was like, oh, okay, now it's confirmation. This is who you're talking about. Gotcha. But up until he said that big three bar, again, you could say that that's just rapper shit. Everything Drake said was direct. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake was like, yo, Kendrick, yo, Metro, yo, Future, yo, Weekend, yo, Rick. Like, this line is about you, nigga. Like, and then he would say the line, you know what I'm saying? So to me, like, even though, yeah, they were all light jabs, it was more potent and it happened more frequently. So to me, I got Drake so far.
Okay, that's fair. All right, Marcus, what about you? What do you say? You got a rating for these fellas? I think you're muted.
I'm gonna piggyback the boxing, and I'm gonna say 10-8. I mean, 10-9. Drake.
Yeah,
like Drake, like Kendrick swung, but it Drake won that round. So you know, and I think also Drake made a point that if you want to continue, know that I have all of this. Is like here? This is for another because I got to go. Look, is Kendrick built for this? We question Cole. Is Kendrick built? Is Kendrick battle tested and built for this type of headline battle? I'm not saying Kendrick can't battle. I'm not saying Kendrick can't send shots, can't rap, can't do anything. Is he ready for? It's the same. We'll go keep it in sports. The bright lights. This is the Super Bowl right now. Mm-hmm. This is the bright lights, all eyes, everyone's focused, everyone's watching. You know, this ain't a playoff game. This ain't a regular season game. This is for all the chips. Mm-hmm. And is Kendrick built for that? And Drake's won a championship. Drake's had a deep playoff run. Drake's also lost in the playoff. We've seen Drake in the postseason plenty of times. Mm-hmm. We've never seen Kendrick.
Not like this. Yeah.
Not like this. So
you'll make some good points.
So you know, it's Kendrick right now is Peyton Manning before Super Bowl. He could be the greatest regular season quarterback. He's James Harden without a championship. He's a great regular season playoff person. But in the playoffs, what are you going to do? So, and
we don't know yet.
We don't know yet.
Right. Yeah, we'll see. And I will
Charles Barkley. That's crazy.
He could be. And this is going to sound crazy too. Let's just say Kendrick decides to team up with Metro and Future and they all say something together and you know, then Kendrick has the chance of looking like Kevin Durant.
If I think the next time we hear from Kendrick, it needs to be by himself.
Yep.
It needs to be by himself, and 75% of that song needs to be aimed at Drake. He can talk about a few other things in there if he wants to, but 75 to 80% of that song needs to be aimed at Drake, and we need to know that that's who you're talking about. If all of that happens, then we have a real shot at having a real head-to-head here.
Yeah. The only other way that happens, that Kendrick can still get that off with a feature, is if he goes on like an Eminem run. You know how like Eminem, when he does a feature with somebody, he'll do like 48 bars at the end of that shit. Like rap forever.
Yeah.
Like, so he could rap on like a Future song or something like that, as long as Future only has, you know, maybe the chorus and a 16. Mm-hmm. But Kendrick has to do at least 32 bars, 48 bars, something like that after that, and just go off for like 3 minutes straight rapping. Then it's cool. You know what I'm saying? But there has to be like
it needs to be way longer than the
amount of bars aimed at Drake, like that are equal to or less than 2 to 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Worth of material.
I got you. I can fuck with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, I agree. I mean, you guys have definitely got me thinking. Like, at first, I like that Kendrick did a sneak attack. It was like you didn't expect him to just jump out the window, especially shooting at Drake and Cole. So that's what I thought was like, oh, maybe he did kind of like, you know, just up him a little bit. He was with the ops too. Like, oh, you petty. Okay.
No, that was good.
It was good. But you're right. I think it says something when you're on your own, you're on your own island, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna line all you niggas up and shoot at all you niggas and take you all down. So I will say, for me, to me personally, I feel like it's such a like, because how you guys had like it all like 1 point off from everybody. I feel like it's kind of the same for me, but almost even like a tie. Like, to me, at first it was going back and forth. Now I kind of feel like a tie, because you're right. I feel like they both did a good job. Drake said more, but he was also shooting at more people. Kendrick did the sneak attack, so that was really strategic on his part, and maybe he has more to come with. But I will be really interested to see like what the next installation is in this drama, because I will say, I feel like it's going to be hard for, I feel like, Drake to say a lot of shit about Kendrick, just because Kendrick really seemed like a nigga who be in the house. Like, he don't seem like he be out here just doing dumb shit. Like, I feel like
When
shooting
you're
at
good
me
at
was a little
battling,
bit easier.
when you're good at battling, you can make anything an angle, though.
Okay.
So that could be the angle. You never leave the
Oh.
house. You know what I'm saying? Like, how are you out here? You know what I'm
Like,
saying?
go light some incense, go woosah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, get your soft ass in the house. You know what I'm saying? You don't even be outside. I'm in the club. I'm in LA more than you, nigga.
And
you know what I'm saying? Like, you turn anything into an angle.
This is gonna sound crazy too. Like, we said Ross, if you, like Eric said, Ross is funny if you watch Ross, and he's low-key hilarious, cracking jokes all the time. Mm-hmm. We don't hear from Kendrick at all. So now to the point where we know so little and have so what's the sample size of Kendrick personally, this Drake can damn near say anything and it's believable. Will it be true? Yep. Has to be fact checked. I don't know. But whatever Drake says, the first time you hear it, it's believable. Whatever Drake says, the very first time he says it, when it's aimed at Kendrick, I'm going to believe it. Unless somebody comes out and says, "Oh no, that's not," But the very first time I hear it, it's believable. I believe it.
Got you.
Because no one can sit there and say Kendrick. No, that ain't Kendrick. No. So
that's really hard to fight. That'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'm very excited about this. As long as it stays peaceful. As long as we stay in the booth with it. And
between them two, it will.
It's gonna stay on wax. Yeah.
Between them two, it will.
And it just I can't lie. That one line about Rick Ross jumping into it and he's turning 50, it was just, I can't lie, I really liked that, because it kind of was like a play on, like, because he is kind of acting like 50 Cent, and he is like damn near 50 years old. But I can't wait to see what else Rick Ross does, because he has just been having this moment. He's like, I'm gonna jump on the hate the Drake wave, and I'm just gonna ride this moment for streams and views, and I ain't that mad at him. It's kind of entertaining.
Ross is gonna have fun with this for like 3 or 4 more weeks, and then he's gonna get bored and move on to something else.
Yeah, and he's gonna go buy another Buffalo and then show us all over the internet again. Yeah, knowing him. But yeah, all right. Well, I think that we said everything that we have to say on this episode, on this topic for the moment. When we get some more beef, when we get some more action going, we're definitely going to report it for you guys. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode. We had so much fun discussing this one. Be sure to, if you guys feel like we missed some shit, throw it in the comments. We love to hear from you guys. We love to hear your takes. And especially when you guys go over to the Patreon, I think that like eventually maybe we can do something where we do like more like shout outs or whatever, hear what you guys got to say. But be sure to check us out every Monday on the Ethos Media Network YouTube page and on the Ethos Media Network Patreon page as well, because there's always some fire, candid, very spicy conversations going on over there. But remember to always catch us here every Monday. This is Bar Exam. We'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.